and counter-punch. Two gladiators going head-to-head this evening to fill the final quarter-final spot here at the Crucible. The prize, a meeting with the defending champion Mark Selby. What a session, Mike, we could be in for tonight.
Absolutely. Two giants of the game. It was interesting to see what Alan said, actually, whereas Marco has been in the heat of battle a little bit more this season than Neil. We know that Neil didn't go to China. He chose to prepare for this tournament. He's played quite well to get here, but this is a titanic battle between these two. Wouldn't be surprised at the interval if it is 10 apiece. Well, that could be a big mistake there.
We know how solid Fu has been this season, and of course landed his third ranking title in sensational fashion. 8 straight frames against John Higgins in the final of the Scottish Open from 4-1 down. And we know how well Higgins has been playing. That was some achievement. Neil Robertson's form, something of an unknown quantity, opting, as Mike mentioned, to use the practice table to prepare rather than the match table in Beijing, not entering the China Open. And he did have a very sticky patch before Christmas by his standards, but as we know, he's a big occasion player.
One.
Well, he's just under-hit that slightly. He wanted to be straighter on this pink. Of course, the plus for these two boys this evening, there's only the one table in operation, so no distractions, of course. Steve Maguire was due to be here, out, but he won in 2 sessions yesterday. So they can keep their concentration up. Packed house again, great atmosphere. But who's going to come through this one to take on the defending champion? I know he didn't go to China, Phil, but we know that Neil's got the class and the pedigree to produce stuff at the top level.
8.
And he's been honest enough to admit that he has been distracted in recent times by some of his hobbies. We know he's a big fan of computer games and of World of Warcraft figurines, which he likes to paint in his spare time, and perhaps spent rather more time on that than he did on the practice table, which perhaps goes some way to explaining his patchy form. So maybe he's got something to prove to himself this year at the Crucible. Since he won it in 2010,
15.
He's suffered 3 first-round losses, and he's only been back to the semi-finals once.
But could it be his time again?
16.
Gone too far there. Played on the red, 2 into the left middle. Well, it's still on, but it's more difficult now. I think he might play a safety. Might be able to hold for the pink, but it's tricky. Well, he's playing the safety.
Neil Robertson, 23.
We were just chatting, Phil, weren't we, before we came on air? We just thought this is a spin of a coin, really. It's a difficult one to call. Possible 9 frames. We might need them all. Questions on Twitter actually afternoon, Phil, is that these little badges that the boys are wearing, they was asking what they were, and actually I think it is the badge for 40 years here at the Crucible. Here you see it just above Neil's logos. Well, Marco's got the chance to get the cue ball back down to the bulk area because obviously he doesn't want to put it to the top cushion, but there is a path here. Wow. Messed that one up big time. Not the best start this evening for him.
One.
Well, if he throws one or too many of those in, he's going to find himself on a sticky wicket.
Every spectator and the Crucible's back to the rafters again, enjoying this last remaining second round match.
Got a red to both middles here. Yes, and the cameraman can enjoy a little bit of freedom as well, because it's obviously very tight when the curtain is down, so they can spread their wings. Nice piece this afternoon on Duncan, Big Dunk, Phil Duncan Richmond. Lovely piece. He 20 years at the Crucible. He was here when he was at his 40th birthday. He was here at his 50th birthday, and I believe today was his 60th birthday. So it was a lovely piece actually, and I saw a little tear in his eye as well. Great. These guys do a fantastic job. Oh, hang on. Ooh.
Neil Robertson, 7.
Never locked in. It was always going towards that near knuckle.
One.
It's not bad. Got the 2 reds on the left-hand side here.
7.
But this, well, one of these still needs potting. He hasn't quite settled properly yet, Marco. This is sort of medium distance. Well played.
8.
He's looked a different character to me around the table this season, Marco Fu. I think he's speeded up his game. He's been more decisive in his shot selection. And it's paid dividends.
Well, he took a month off, didn't he? He ducked out of a couple of tournaments, went back to Hong Kong to see his coach, Wayne Griffiths, Terry's son. And he had technical issues. Felt that he was coming across the line of the ball, so he thought, well, I'll duck out of a couple and need to get that ready for the rest of the season. Of course, he came back and then won the Scottish Open. So it worked.
14.
Gave Mark Selby his toughest match last year here at the Crucible. 17-15 in the semi-finals. And lost by the odd frame to Peter Ebdon in his other appearance in the last 4. But it's a rather edgy start to the final session, and that's no surprise at all.
Well, black's tied up, but pink and blue are available. Plenty on here for Neil to capture this opening frame of the final session. And he's had a couple of good chances already.
Six. Seven.
A view from the gallery. Well, what is it about that right centre pocket?
I was just going to ask you that, Phil.
Neil Robertson,
That's
7.
3 now.
Second time that Robertson's missed the pink into that pocket.
you.
Fu having missed a
Please.
straight red just now. And that's almost unbelievable, but it just shows what the pressure of the Crucible can do.
Well,
One.
that's not a bad little nudge there to stay on the blue. You can play this between the pink and the green. They might try and disturb something down this end near the black. Be interesting to see the way he plays this. Oh, that's poor. That really is poor. There was a gap there, but...
6.
Well, now he's in trouble. Now he's got to find a good safety. And he's put himself there.
Marco Fu, 6.
Well, that's opened things a little more at this end. Oh, he's found one. Great pot.
Where did that come from? Brilliant.
Well, he's not landed on the colours. You'll watch the replay, but he's taken control of the board. You can lay the snooker. Put Neil in trouble here. He's only 16 points behind. Still plenty on.
Yellow ball. Marco football.
Well played. Well, there's noise going off in the arena. I don't know whether somebody's alarm going off on a phone or something like that, but it needs to be sorted. On this background, I think that's in the audience. Or is it? Sounds like an alarm.
Nothing from the referee yet.
Well, it's an unusual sound. I've never heard that sound before in the Crucible. I think it's somebody's alarm going off on a phone.
And no one wants to own up.
Yeah. Well, this is ridiculous if it is a phone.
It's a bit early for the alarm bells to be ringing. We could have another 8 frames after this.
Still going on. Well, somebody must know where it's coming from.
I think they're too embarrassed to admit it.
Unbelievable.
Well, that may have broken the tension.
Well, yeah, good point. There is that. Great safety there. In fact, I think it's the snooker. Great hit. We'll settle for that.
Mark Selby said after his win over Zhao Guodong earlier that he'd be more than happy for this to go on beyond midnight. Both players battling it out to the death. He might get his wish if this first frame's anything to go by.
I think we're up to about 20 minutes already in this frame, probably just over with 4 reds left. tried a cheeky double there. But he's left a pot on here for Neil to the middle. Well played. Yeah, beautiful. It's got the angle on the black here. We can come off the side cushion and just push the red towards the corner pocket. Could just drop on it, but I think he might play it. Oh, don't know. Can he? Possibly. I think he'll play to nudge it. But let's have a look at this again. Nicely into the centre. Well, he's thinking, I think, about possibly laying the snooker, just leaving himself at an angle from this black with the red and pushing the red around the table. Going for the snooker here.
8.
Will at least get Marco in some trouble.
Neil Robertson, 8.
Well, just as well, he's covered the red because it's over the corner. But I think he has done. Oh, this is trouble. You might be able to see the one between the brown and the pink, in as much as to try and get the cue ball back at this end of the table. But of course the problem is the red near the green pocket. Well, that is very clever. He's managed to cover the one in the other pocket with the brown and the pink and push the other one past the middle. That's very clever. I think Neil was expecting an easier one than this. No, you can play the red up and down and just leave the white on the diagonal to cover that red near the green pocket with the blue and the yellow. Well, he's taking it too close to the corner. He didn't want to put it there. He wanted it more into the middle of the table. That's a mistake. Okay, it's about 11 feet away, but I think Marco's very capable of knocking this in. Just about where the white's going to finish, really. Oh. Do you know, I think he's got away with that.
If it's this tense at 8-all, what's it going to be like at 12-all?
You'll be on your own. Not sure if the left-hand one will cut back in. Marco a little bit fortunate not to leave the one nearest the pocket. Well, he's having a go at this. It's thin. Oh, I don't know, just for a second there. Hang on. Oh, just for a second I thought that red was going to rattle, and also for another second I thought the pink was going in.
He very nearly overcut the red, which looked impossible, and that pink hasn't done him any favours in this frame, so it's something of a surprise that it's still there.
Well, obviously the pink is guaranteed, but the problem with these when they're right in the corner of the pocket is getting the cue ball back at that end of the table. If he hits this slightly on the thick side, it will kill the white. He's got to hit that pink thin for that cue ball to, well, just once it past the blue spot.
25, Robertson's lead with a colour to come, 43 remaining.
He's had a quick look at the yellow, but he must play the pink here. But as thin as you can get it. Even if he finishes near the back cushion, it's okay. There's still a red there.
Pink. Pink ball.
It might stun this around the angles, actually. The danger with that is that right-hand middle pocket. Well, that will do.
7.
He only needs a highish value colour off this red to leave Marco Fu needing a snooker.
Eight.
Could play the yellow, could play the brown. Still need the red though. In fact, not at all, because this brown will make it 36 to lead, 35 on. Could really do with this red, and if it goes in, he's going to win the first frame of this final session. It's taken some time winning. Oh, he's not there yet.
Neil Robertson, 12.
Just the one snooker required.
One.
Still needs one snooker.
6. Marco Fu, 6.
Well, that was a good chance. Didn't play it very well. But Neil here has to be careful, of course. Good safety. Oh, this is possible past the black if it goes in its frame over.
Twelfth meeting between this pair. Robertson just edging the head-to-head, 6-5. Whitewashed Marco Fu at the Masters last year, but Fu beat Robertson on his way to the Scottish Open title at the back end of 2016. We've seen a hatful of breaks from both players during this match, but this is a very different frame.
Let's not forget, Marco can still steal this frame, just one snooker required. Do a bit of cover here, he's got it. Well, that should have been better from Neil, because it gives Marco the chance to put the yellow in the green and then play or lay a good snooker from the brown, which I think he might do. Well, that has surprised me. But if it goes behind the green, I can understand why he's played it. Oh.
That might just change things in this very tension-filled opening frame of the final session. Just one snooker needed for Marco Fu.
And there is room to go around the back of this yellow. Well, I take back what I said. But Neil here should have put this frame away 5-10 minutes ago. He's had 2 or 3 chances on the yellow. Hasn't captured it yet.
Foul.
Didn't get enough on the cue
Marker
ball.
for 5.
Game back on.
Thought he might have come off 2 cushions, but there's always a possibility of leaving the free ball. Of course, the miss cannot be called because a snooker was required. Now, does Marco play this, or does he put Neil back in? Well, he's had 1 or 2 chances on the yellow to put it away. Got the snooker. Well, it's got to be said, Phil, if Neil loses his frame from the position he was in, we'll wonder how. But it's now a possibility.
Nothing safe. Fu obviously needs all the colours. The crowd are going to be hoarse if this goes the distance. It's almost been like a match within a frame.
Could do with this as well. Well played. Wow. Got out of jail a little bit here in this first frame.
Relief will be the emotion for Neil Robertson. This frame could have slipped through his grasp. It's been a frame dripping with tension and nervous energy. And it's just the first of a possible 9 this evening. But it's gone the way of the Aussie.
14. And the frame.
The 2010 world champion back in front after a lot of errors in the early stages from both players. It's Robertson who strikes first. He increases his lead to 9 frames to 8.
Marker Fu to break.
The first frame was very edgy. It lasted over 40 minutes. It went the way of Neil Robertson after Marco Fu had got the snooker he needed, and he had a chance on the yellow with the colours waiting.
Well, that's a perfect break-off shot. He's got both the colours, sorry, both the reds covered, and not a path back to bulk for Neil here. That's what he thought of it. Don't know if the yellow is in the way, just to come into the pack left-hand side. It's Hawkeye's view. Oh, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And he's opened up 1 or 2 reds as well, if Neil makes a mistake. Now, I think he could just about get into the left-hand side of the pack here, but if the cue ball were to skim off them, there'll be a couple of reds waiting. Which way is he going to go here? Well, it's understandable that he's taking a little bit of time over this one. This is going to be mightily thin. Ooh, that is unbelievable.
Foul. And a miss.
He's mixed that by an
Mark the
absolute
foot.
fraction. Just have a look at this. Well, that's the width of foil paper. Which it does mean, though, he's left this red to the middle.
1.
Well, he's still on the black, but he might take the blue.
Fu was already battle-hardened coming into this second round match. Had to dig deep in the first round from 7-2 down against Luca Brissell to win by the odd frame. But he's not settled this evening.
Mark of foot 1.
Certainly hasn't.
What's that?
Yet more extraneous noise. Robertson suggesting he was distracted. That's gone wrong immediately. It is so frustrating. At the start of every session,
New Robertson 1.
Rob Walker, our MC, practically pleads with the crowd to check their devices, make sure they're at least on silent, if not turned off. But until they start actually removing members of the audience whose phones go off, I think it's going to continue. At the moment, there's no real sanction. There comes a time when you have to stop asking and start doing something about it.
Foul.
Huh.
And a miss.
That's unbelievable.
New
Again,
Robertson.
he's missed that by a fraction. It's one each now. Well, he's going to play the same shot again.
Let's have a look at that, Mark. Yeah. Neil?
turn, that is. And he's got them open, and as soon as he misses the brown, it's perfect. You could just see the little tap on the table there from Neil, just saying, well played. Most of these players have great respect for each other, with their abilities. Look at that, 83 and 85, that's pretty good. It's throughout the tournament, of course. Good pace. Well played. The only danger there is just to nudge it towards the middle pocket. But he's done well there. Good safety being played by these two lads. They know that one mistake could cost them this frame. Plenty of reds to go at.
The final session has developed already into a real battle of attrition. Both players very reluctant to commit themselves for fear of making a mistake. It's very cagey, very edgy. The good news is that whoever does come through will have the chance to rest up, because they're not going to be on in the first session tomorrow when we get the quarterfinals underway. Mark Selby awaiting the winner in the afternoon session.
Yes, I think that's right, Phil, because I'm led to believe it's like it goes down the list: quarterfinal 1, 2, 3 and 4. We haven't quite got the running order yet, but I think that's what it is. It's quarterfinal 2 and 3, which start out in the morning, 1 and 4 in the afternoon, and again the second session for 2 and 3 in the evening. I'm sure I'm right with that. Oh, hang on.
Foul. And a miss.
Well, at this rate, it could be a draw. Feels more like a chess match than a snooker match at the moment.
Well, at least this time Marco's managed to put distance between the cue ball and the reds, and look at that. I mean, another inch to the right, and it was absolutely perfect because he would have blocked off the left-hand side. But if Neil goes down that side, he's got to be careful with the black. He might even be tempted with the red to the right corner. If he gets the cue ball in the corner of the pocket, the black is on. Don't be surprised if he knocks this in. Come right across it. Does he think that moved? It's not too bad.
Long way off and pretty lucky not to leave anything.
Now he's possibly left the same red he's just played. I'm not sure whether Marco can get through to the potting angle. Swing on the left-hand side. It could be on. And if you can see it, you can float this in and just drop it in for the black. Yep, there's room there. Great pop and a good cannon as well. He went full-blooded to move those reds away from the black spot. Now he's giving himself a great chance.
That's certainly broken the stalemate. Something had to give. Things had rather ground to a halt in this second frame. And they might again.
8.
Well, that is unbelievable because, I mean, he had so many options. I don't know why he's going into the reds there. That could have happened. He could have played on a single red there. Well, that was risky for me, going into the bunch like that.
Foul.
Oh.
And a miss. Marco full 8. Neil Robertson full.
Well, a strange start, Phil.
Yeah.
I think it just underlines what's at stake here. Both players desperate to progress. At the moment, both rather paralysed by the occasion.
Might just put the white to the top cushion here. Can't take it down the table, there's a red waiting. But even if he puts it to the top cushion, there's still one waiting, I think, to the middle.
One player who will be loving this is Mark Selby. Back in his hotel room. Colin suggested he have a cigar in hand.
This one.
Reclining luxuriously. Hoping for a 3 AM finish. Well, 451's going to take some beating. That was Thorburn and Griffiths back in '83.
Yeah, you want to re-rack it? Okay.
Goodness me. And after all that, we're going to start again. Well, we knew it would be full of tension with so much at stake. But I don't think any of us quite envisaged a beginning to the final session like this. We've had a barrage of breaks in this match. Neil Robertson has made 105, a brace of 62s, a 90, a 91 and a 58. Marco Fu has had 2 centuries, 64, 72, 56 and 46. At the moment, there's very little happening. The match stuck in treacle. Neil Robertson 9-8 in front. First frame was very edgy and bitty and error-strewn. And that one, now officially, never happened.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Frame 18. Marco Fu to break.
Who can grab this final session by the horns? $13 the target, 3 more before the final interval. We have seen a lot of good safety. More often than not, the cue ball glued to either top or bottom cushion. Now then, Fu had a pretty decent chance in the re-racked frame just now. Lost position immediately.
1.
What can he make of this?
Eight. Marco Fu, 8. Thanks.
Chance here. Red to the left. Black's available.
1.
Neil Robertson bidding to move to clear for the first time since he took that very early 4-1 lead.
Sure. 7. 8. 15.
No, another great chance missed.
Neil Robertson, 15.
There was plenty of room there for the red, Phil.
It was the margin of error here. Never intended to touch the red close to the cushion, of course.
It nearly still went in.
One.
Well, Marco has got to make his mark here.
Eight. 9.
Getting a little cannon here as Robbo looks on. He had a good chance here on the red. There was, say, plenty of room past the other one. Now, can Marco get the nice cannon here? It's okay. He's on one. Don't think he quite played it that way, but he'll take it.
16. 17.
Well, looking to stay on the pink to the middle, and to be honest, that's a poor shot. I thought he might have screwed off the first one into the other two, or this one this side of it, but that's really poor from Marco.
The early stages of this final session beginning to take on almost surreal proportions. Who is going to be able to handle this occasion the better? They're both vastly experienced. Marco Fu, twice a semi-finalist. Neil Robertson, a winner, of course. Just goes to show, though, what this place can do, even to the very best. Who can free the shackles? Another excellent safety. That's more like it, Neil. Neither player has had the opportunity to find any kind of rhythm yet this evening. But this might be a chance for Robertson belatedly to do so as Marco Fu watches on. He did have a reasonable chance of his own, lost position.
8. $14. 15. 21. 22.
Do you know, I thought he missed that for a minute.
28. 29. 35.
Just slightly the wrong angle on this red here. He's only got a 25-point lead. Doesn't want to disturb the red and the black. He wants to try and win the frame with the other reds. Well, he's done well there to get any sort of shot on the pink. That's brilliant. And he can get himself on the red to the right middle pocket. He's having to work hard for these, though. 26 the lead, pink 32. Just about there. He needs 2 more reds after this pink to make it 10-8. If he wins all 4 frames in this mini session, Phil, he'll put himself in a very good position. It's still a possible. He's got to capture this one first, though. He's just got into the white too much.
42.
Just a safety now then. But he's got a good 32-point lead here in this 18th frame.
Neil Robertson, 42.
Doubly good given the position of the remaining reds.
Well, Marco obviously wants to get that red away from the black, but doesn't want to put it over the corner either. So he's got to be careful here. Hang on, has he left it? He has, you know. Oh, has he? No, I don't think it has gone far enough. Yeah, I think Neil can cut this back. The only bonus is that the cue ball's landed near to the side cushion. I was hoping to just push that red beyond the middle pocket, but I think this will go. Neil still needs 2 reds though, with a colour. Oh, that's unlucky.
1.
Well, he could take the extra 6 points here, but on the other hand, I would suggest put a colour safe. The black's already there with the red. I would suggest to push the pink onto the red and probably trap the red between the pink and the black.
Brown ball.
Well,
Neil Robertson,
just
1.
about got the snooker, but he hasn't got the brown safe. I thought he might play the other one I first suggested, but the pink to the red. Well, whatever. It's difficult for Marco. Just in the table. Well, but Neil won't be nudging this red too much. Doesn't want that black away from the cushion. It's quite clever that for Marco, because he's covered the one on the side cushion with a pink. Well, he's forcing Neil to play this one off the side cushion. Side cushion, back cushion, white, twice across. And it's gone around the angles, that's fair enough, and I'll tell you what, he's played this really well. Excellent. Well, he's in control of this second frame of the even session. He was in control of the first one, but he nearly lost it. He's missed that. That's wide.
Foul. Gonna miss. Neil Robertson, 4. Yeah. Bring that up, please, Colin.
Not much wiggle room now for Marco.
I think it's Colin Humphries who's our marker this evening. The still frame.
To you, yeah?
37 the difference, 43 there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Better angle.
It's a game of patience at the moment, isn't it? Marco Fu's great strength is his temperament, allied to that tremendous scoring power. When he's on song this evening, he's been living off scraps.
Neil's got a chance to lay a snooker, I think. Just avoid the black. Oh, just dead weight off the side cushion. Well, just see enough of this one to, I think, to probably take the white away from them. Oh, what about that one? Huh. Didn't see that. Well played. I don't think that was dead set. He had to make that. Well, that came out of the blue.
This has got to go, though. That's a very good pot. If that hadn't gone in, it was almost certainly 10-8 Robertson, and now he can lay something fiendish.
Yeah, and Neil was in control of this frame. Not so now.
Marco Fu.
Anything but that. What an opportunity missed.
Yeah, a bit careless, but he should have been looking to get the white welded to the black there, really, rather than just leave it on the cushion. If he gets it tight to the black, it doesn't matter what he hits.
Robertson just needs the red.
Well, he's left that, and there's only 30 points in it. But Marco not able to capitalise. He's got away with it. Well, that's a good escape. You'll take that. Well, the opening frame of this evening session could have gone either way. I know Marco needed the snooker, but wasn't far away from getting the... Well, he did get the points, actually. He had a chance. Would expect Neil to win this one, though, from here. Especially with a shot like that. He's played one.
It's not been pretty this evening. It's pretty evident, but we've seen some great safety.
Well, you said about the fiendish one behind the black, Phil. This is even harder. Ooh.
Foul. And a miss. Neil Robertson, 4.
Difference now 34 with 35 left.
Yeah.
Back it goes. And of course, if Fu doesn't hit it this time, he'll need snookers.
Well, that was a big call there from Jan Verhaas. Marco didn't miss it by much, but he just feels it at this level, professional sport, that he should possibly hit this red off one cushion, if not two.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's got to hit it now. Otherwise, again, he's going to need a snooker. Well played. Oh, unlucky. That could have easily landed behind the black there. But I think it's frame over.
It was a great snooker, and it surely won Neil Robertson this frame to put him 2 clear.
One.
They're both still a long way from the winning line, although Robertson looks to be edging a bit closer now. But they've both been in Shrewsbury this evening, haven't they, at various times?
Well, you know, the question mark was over Neil when he sort of didn't go to China. Phil, we were wondering how that would affect him, but I think he's playing okay. I think he knows he's prepared properly. Don't think he's playing too bad. Okay, he's missed that one, but it should be 10-8.
Okay, Marco. 7 on the frame.
Marco Fu concedes another epic, but it's gone the way of the first of the night to Neil Robertson, and it puts him within 3 of a place in the quarterfinals and a showdown with Mark Selby. Marco Fu now has quite a bit to do. He trails by 10 frames to 8.
Marco is not quite at the races yet. He's not thinking clearly like he has been in this tournament before. And sometimes he can do this. He can go on walkabout with his concentration. He's got to pick up and think about his shot selection and then execute them properly. Because if Neil wins his next frame, he's in trouble.
Hasn't had an opportunity to establish any kind of rhythm or flow this evening. And now right under the cosh at 10-8 down. 2 more frames before the final interval. Be desperate to win them both, but he's got to win at least one, you would think. Otherwise he'll have too much to do. Neil Robertson, perhaps not surprisingly, given they've been out there for over an hour and a half, has gone for a unscheduled bathroom break. And of course, just the one table in operation. Steve Maguire was due to play to a finish against Rory McLeod tonight, but he got it done in 2 sessions.
Thank you. Frame 19. Neil Robertson to break.
We were half expecting this one to go
Settle down, please.
the distance
Thank
this
you.
evening. It may yet, but Neil Robertson now has other ideas.
Well, I've got to say this, but this is a massive frame here for Marco Fu. If he loses this frame, that is a tall order from there. But that snooker that Neil laid behind the brown, oh, how good was that? Too thick. White only just past the blue spot. He's not on the money. Marco is not on the money yet. He's struggling. And if he stays like that, this match could go away from him.
One. Six. 7. Green ball.
Well, he's looking at the green to try and keep this break going. A little bit lucky to catch the yellows. Just put his hand up there to apologise because the cue ball would have been closer to the reds.
Fu relieved to only be 7 behind off that chance for Robertson. Would have feared the worst, having missed the long red, but that's much better from Marco. We know his form is there. He's shown it in this match already. Tonight hasn't gone his way so far, but if he can get this frame, it's right back in the balance again.
I think he's still on this.
8. Nine.
Got a kick there.
Twelve.
Good recovery. Just got into the white a little bit too much there, but might be able to get into the bunch. Concentrate on the pot, though. Good hit. Very aggressive, but he's lost the white. That's unlucky.
$20.
Great pot. Nicely on the pink as well. Hit that well. That's more like it. Definitely needs to pick up his game. He's not quite been there yet this evening. Just needs to flick the switch. Now there's a red at the back of the bunch that goes, but he'd love to get on the one there, the black.
He won't be fazed by a 2-frame deficit. Remember, he was 5 down after the first session of his first round match against Belgium's Luca Brissell. And it's not often that a 7-2 deficit is overturned here at the Crucible in round 1.
$35. 36.
No, has he covered this red? He has the one to the green pocket, but I think he's covered the one to the top
43.
pocket. Caught them quite well, actually. Yep, this one's okay, but again, it's one of those, it needs potting. Not guaranteed. Looks good. He's walking after it.
This has been gutsy so far from Fu. He needed a response, he knew it. He's been very positive with this break. And he's given himself a chance to get right back in this final session.
Yeah, and he's been a little bit low-key so far, Phil, hasn't he? This will just get him pumped
49.
up. Get him going.
Safety.
Typical Marco, this. He's never one to panic, but he's at the stage where he needs to put frames on the board.
57. $58.
His 6th half century of the match. He's made a couple of centuries as well. And suddenly, from nowhere really, normal order restored.
65.
And he's already at frame ball. Compared with the first two, this frame has been a blur.
Well, what did Colin say in the studio? 4 each, 6 each, 8 each.
Yes, and it was beginning to look unlikely at 10-8. Robertson threatening to take an iron grip on this match. Great response for the reigning Scottish Open champion.
This is more like it.
72. $73.
Probably Cannon to develop that red. If anything, just pushed it on a little bit too much, but it's okay. You can get in behind it. Now, which one will he play on? Frame already safe. It's all about the century now. Well, he's going to have to play the double
78.
to continue, I think.
No century, but that was a very significant break of 78 and a very classy one from Marco Fu. That will restore any lost confidence, and Neil Robertson knows he's in a match once again. His lead shaved by a frame to 10-9. Before the final interval, Marco Fu, from nowhere, finds his best form. Terrific break of 78 to stay in touch. He needed something, and he produced it there, and it was a courageous break as well. There were 1 or 2 tricky shots that, had he missed, he could have let Robertson in, but he passed the test.
Certainly did, and he could do with this one as well to make it 10 apiece. Chance here, though. Ooh. Again, very close. I don't think the red passes the blue.
Anxious look from Robertson to see if that's true or not. Couldn't have got much closer to the red. Just the defensive safety from Fu.
That's nearly in. Ooh.
In their previous 11 meetings, they've gone the distance just once, this pair. That was at the Masters way back in 2008. Looks pretty cool, but then James Bond always has been, I guess.
Foul.
Yeah, shaken, I
Mark,
suppose. Not quite stirred yet.
By and large, it's not been a licence to thrill so far this evening, but there's still a long way to go in this deciding session, particularly if Fu can equalise again.
Well, he's a mile away there. Well, apart from the 78 from Marco in the last frame, they've both struggled here this evening.
One. Six. Seven. 12. $13. $20. 21. 28. That's right. $29. Just measure that.
Nothing seems to faze Marco
35.
Fu. He's got ice in those veins of his. He's had to play a waiting game tonight. The first
36.
two frames were a huge struggle. Both went against him, but he's responded exceptionally well.
$43.
Neil Robertson might have thought that he'd broken his opponent when he took those
44.
two epic frames for 10-8. Fu has got other ideas.
$51. 52. $59. 60.
This blue and one more red, and it looks like 10 apiece. Well, to say this final
65.
session has been a slow burner would be an understatement of pretty epic proportions.
66.
The first two frames were a desperate struggle for both of them. Neil Robertson won them both, but he's been frozen out in the next two. One snooker required. The black to make doubly short. And it has been a terrific response from Marco Fu.
73.
He's backed his game. He knows he's been playing some great stuff this season, perhaps the best of his career. He's won another major title.
74.
And that form has come to the fore in the nick of time.
Yeah, and Colin's prediction has come true. Just when it went
81.
Sort of 10-8. We were wondering whether Neil will push on there, but Marco's response has been very good.
Yet another big break. And the possibility now of a century. It will be his third of the match. The 44th of his campaign.
87. 88.
Yeah, and if he makes the ton here, it'll be the 50th of this World Championship.
And I guess Marco would rather not have the
95.
interval now. He's on a bit of a roll.
96.
Neil Robertson, I think, will enjoy that 15-minute break a little more.
Well, there's another 35 on here, Phil. He could beat Stuart Bingham at the top at 138, but he's got to play on the black here. Does he know? Does he realise?
Does he care at this point?
Why has he played on the pink? He can only tie £10,000. Well, at this stage, have a go at getting on the black.
I think he's just focused on what he's got to do this evening.
110.
Well, he can tie the break here. Stuart Bingham's at the top, 137. I don't think he even realised. I think he's that much in a little bubble here, Phil. He just wanted the frames on the board, didn't he?
And I think that's entirely understandable.
Yeah. He could have made the 138, though, if he'd have played on the black with the final red. Doesn't matter, that's gone. But terrific stuff. I mean, 78 in the last century in this one. But he'll enjoy his cup of tea.
Well, it took a while to get going, didn't it? But my goodness, what a fight back from Marco Fu. From a precarious 10 frames to 8 down, he has responded magnificently. And his third century of this terrific match has put him right back in contention. Are we going the distance? It's 10 apiece at the interval.
In tomorrow night's show, and we'll launch the next quarter-final. We'll do one a day until we get a winner, just for fun, to celebrate 40 years of one of the greatest sporting venues on the planet. Now, I've went into every throwback to the commentators the last 3 times. It says, I'll see you back here when they're all even again. Not this time. It's impossible, Mike Hallett and Philip Studd.
Yeah, someone's got to win.
Neil Robertson.
But it does kind of feel inevitable that it's going to take a final frame to divide them. We shall see. What a first mini session of the evening that was.
Well, can one of these players break out of this? I thought when Neil was 10-8 up, we thought, oh, hang on a minute. Unlucky. Oh, I was about to say the first couple of frames, for me, Marco wasn't quite on it, wasn't on the money, but he certainly was in the last 2. But how close was that?
So close that it's remained very close to the pocket, but the question is whether Robertson can see it past the green.
Well, I think he's going to have to play this a little bit of right-hand side on the cue ball, and if he plays it dead weight, he could still land on the black here. Of course, the contact has to be perfect. It's not right over the corner, it's 4 or 5 inches away from it. But he can kick this in dead weight. If he plays it with pace, he'll probably go into the pack. He's played with pace.
1.
Somebody getting a bit excited there.
Settle down, please.
Well, that's the only danger, playing it at that pace. Couldn't guarantee whether White was going to finish.
I think Robertson will have been a little troubled by the way in which Fu hit back from 10-8 down. Threw a couple of big punches. The Scottish Open champion to draw level.
Well, that's worked out beautifully. He's had a couple go off that near jaw in that middle already this evening, Neil, but not this time.
Third time lucky with a pink, having missed 2 in the first frame of the night.
Yeah, I think it was Marco who had the red, wasn't it?
7.
A lot gone on since then.
8.
I'm just wondering whether Marco was clearing up there, Phil. I don't. Well, obviously he didn't, but now we'd be looking at the 137 Stuart Bingham. He could have beat that, £10,000. 138, I think, will probably get beat, but it's still a good target.
Yeah, I think he was completely oblivious to that.
Just wanted the frame on the board.
It's hard to imagine with the players left standing that we won't have a break in the 140s. Who knows? We might get the perfect one.
It's a great lineup this year, isn't it? Really is.
13.
And of course, this match here will establish the last 8 lineup. The winner here to play Mark Selby in the quarterfinals.
$14.
A couple of cannons, but it's worked out nicely.
19.
Banging around the black spot where these boys like to be. This is where their scoring power is.
20.
I think the next half an hour or so is going to be interesting.
By common consent, it's not been Neil Robertson's most impressive season, but he still managed to win a ranking title, Riga Masters, which means he's won something big every year since 2006. That is some achievement in itself. Became the 8th player to complete Triple Crown of Masters UK and World titles, but that's gone astray.
Foul. Neil Robertson 20. Marco Fu 7.
Well, he's ever hit that bar a long way. He's playing on the left-hand red. Really got into the cue ball there. We keep saying how responsive these cloths are. Well, unless he was playing some sort of cannon on a red, which I can't believe, he's ever hit that bar a long way. Marco back in. Well, it's taken a little while to get going in this match, in this final session, but it's just warming up nicely now. It's simmering, and that's a plant.
Six. Seven. $14. 15.
Well, he'll be into them here with a lot of backspin. Well, actually, there's still the plant on the pink spot, so he'll be coming back for that. Forgot about that. All of a sudden, Marco's come alive.
22.
78 and 115 in the 2 frames before the interval. And counting.
23.
Well, he's landed a bit straight on this blue. He might have a slight angle, actually. This is better, Phil. Found his feet.
It's been a terrific response from Fu. He was really up against it at 10-8 down, particularly the manner in which he lost those first 2 very bitty frames at the start of the evening. I think he decided he had
28.
to really go on the offensive, play positively, maybe even take 1 or 2 risks. But that shows he's feeling confident about his game.
29.
Ooh, well, I don't know. Is that on? Looks good, you know. It looks good. Oh, well played. That could be a frame winner.
Didn't think twice about it, did he?
36.
No. I just thought he got a bit too close to it. Oh, Marco. Marco, what have you done?
Marco Fu, 36.
Did he just get ahead of himself there after that great black?
Settle down, please. Thank you.
With the applause of the crowd still ringing in his ears. Was it a kick? He hit it thick.
Didn't see one, you know, Phil. I didn't see one there. Perhaps he just... Well, I don't know.
How crucial will that reprieve for Robertson prove to be at the end of this match? He's
1.
beginning to look a little on the ropes there, Robertson. He'd been outplayed completely in the previous 2 frames. Fu threatening to win his 3rd on the spin.
Well, I just think that Marco might have just taken that one for granted. It was such a good black. He's
7.
thinking, well, after that one, there's no way I can miss this one.
On such moments,
8.
do matches of this magnitude turn?
Well, he can't believe he's missed that red, neither can we. I don't think it was a bad contact. I think he just got slightly ahead of himself. He played 2 or 3 good shots to open them up and get in prime position. And then misses just off straight red.
16.
He knows every one of these points that Robertson is scoring should be his. He'd have won the frame by now had it not been for that error. And Robertson would really be feeling the heat.
Yeah, and he's determined to punish here. Took that little tricky red on the top cushion, but it's
23.
I think just so off it, so just in behind it, off straight. He can drop it in for the black. Points are level. Look at that. Can't split them. 10 frames all, 43 points all.
24.
It's just been the nature of this match. Well, it's all about the final red here now. That's where he wants to land. Just land himself, land high on the black, and get there for the final red. All the colours on the spots. Well, he's done this, as all the boys have, tens of thousands of times in the club. But this, of course, is not the club. He's got a slide angle just to punch over for the red. Went to nudge it. I cannot believe he's played that. Why take the risk? The red was an inch off the cushion. Just play on it.
And Marco Fu breathes again. Grimace from Robertson, no wonder. He knows how much pain he would have inflicted on Fu had he cleared up here for 11-10.
Well, he can still inflict some pain here with the snooker.
Robertson.
Well, especially now he's flicked off the yellow. That has helped. But, you know, he would have been on the yellow by now, probably clearing. But that's probably second best. Now, just with Marco and get through between the pink and the blue here.
Thank you.
He's playing a slight swerve around the pink, but not too much to hit the blue. Oh, great hit. What a hit that is. Well, that is unbelievable. He was in trouble there, and he got out of it. Well, logged that one because that's one of the shots of the championship. He's played another one. Easy to hit this time. Off the top cushion. Has to get it safe, though. He's 15 behind. Tell you what, I think he's got one back.
That was a terrific shot from Fu, acknowledged by Robertson.
Don't think it's quite the snooker.
It was all about getting the red safe.
Well, Neil can punch the red around the table here, but he's got to avoid the yellow in doing so. And where the brown is, I think Neil can only see the left-hand side of this red. So his shot choice is limited. Could have been worse. Well, he could play white off the side and top cushions, but I think the red might be just colliding into the blue, and then they could go over this right-hand corner. For the pot there. It's got second best. Again, should hit this, but where will it finish? Oh, well, hang on though. He's left it on. Well, this is Neil's sort of range. Came across it. Where will this finish? It's going to be one of those nights, Phil, isn't it?
It already is. Could be one of those mornings. What a result for Robertson.
Yeah, and a couple of minutes ago, Neil was in control of this frame because, of course, he got the snooker and then he got the chance to pot the red. But now it's a role reversal. Good snooker there for Marco. Now this red is Neil's problem. Playing the swerve. Oh, got it on too early.
Gonna miss.
Got the side on too early. Is that a free ball?
And free ball.
Oh.
Marker full 5. Pink ball.
He's taking the pink as the red, of course. Onto the black. What a chance this is. Got a few fans in.
There's no question that Fu is looking the stronger, more composed of the two at the moment. Miss on the red earlier in the frame, which looked likely to be very costly, was a candidate for miss of the tournament. I think it was a loss of concentration, but now he has the chance for his third straight frame.
Yes, and how well did he hit that black? He had to power it in to force the angle. They're all there. It's down to him.
Nine.
Now, I just wonder whether you might play a cannon on the blue here, play on the yellow to the green pocket, push the blue into the middle of the table. He could play on the yellow into its own pocket. Well, all Neil can do is sit there and hope he misses. But with a touch aside, he could push this blue into a better position. Well, I suppose he chose to leave it alone, or did he? Because look where he's finished on the yellow.
Going for the nudge,
13.
I think. Only just missed it.
Yeah, I think right, Phil, because he's left distance, hasn't he? This is no gimme. Oh.
15.
Well, he will need that blue, and only the blue.
$18.
Worst case scenario, he's only going to be 11-10 down. He's got to get on the blue first, though, Marco. Well played.
22.
The blue is frame ball.
But nothing is easy at this stage. This is not a gimme. The pressure is intense.
Doesn't need to play on the pink to stun it in. This is for 3 frames on the bounce.
Nothing is easy.
Marker Fu, 22.
But he's got away with it. And the drama continues unabated. This is going to come down to a test of nerve as much as skill.
Can't pot this, just playing the safety. And that's pretty good, you know. He's got that blue to the side cushion, well played. Well, just knock this in.
Shades of Dennis Taylor in '85. It was the brown on that occasion. Actually, it was the green, wasn't it? Fabulous pot.
The green and brown he knocked in were unbelievable. Straight pot into the corner and then floated the brown in. 2 tremendous pots under that sort of pressure.
Edge of the seat stuff at the Crucible.
Once more. A couple of minutes ago, he had a chance to pot the blue for the frame, but he has to be careful here. He could lose it. And that needs to run on. That needs to run on. I think he's just thrown it away.
Another twist in this extraordinary tale.
Thank you. Quietly, please.
Well, it just got down with that, Phil. I'm sure Marco was down. Probably didn't know what to do with it in the end.
Robertson needs blue, pink and black for 11-10.
Five.
Lovely piece of check side there to bring the white more into the middle of the table. Well, this will hurt Marco because he's made all the running towards the end of this frame.
And of course missed a short range red when he was just a few balls away earlier in the frame.
This is all about nerve. And he's got plenty, but look what he's done with the cue ball.
The finest snooker players in the world reduced to jelly by the crucible.
I just wonder though, will he take this onto the middle? He might, you know. Got to. He might not get another chance. Well, he's thinking about cutting it back into the corner, but surely to the middle. Well, if that wise, he'd just bounce another couple of inches, no problem. But it's a tough for black to cut back. Well, Ducatian playing safe, and he's going to try and pot it. Going to the middle, I think. Was it there?
Neil Robertson, 11.
Well, at least he's got it safe. Well, I say that. I mean, you never know. Marco might try and cut this back in.
We've seen a couple of great matches at the Crucible this year. Ding against Liang, Higgins against Allen. But this is surely the most dramatic.
No, he's played one. Oh, this is awkward. Which way is he going to go? Ooh, hang on. Hang on. Dear me.
Both players could have won this frame.
Thank you.
But now, Marco Fu, with this thinnish cut on the black, can win his third on the spin. He's undercut it. He's undercut it.
Well, this is the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield, and this is the World Championship.
And this is surely 11-10 to Neil Robertson.
Come on!
And that's what it means to him. Robertson lets off some steam. High drama at the Crucible as the left-hander from Melbourne, Australia, edges in front of a crestfallen Marco Fu. Robertson 2 frames away from the quarters. He leads 11-10. Poised for 11-10. He then had frame ball blue for 11-10, and then a very makeable cut on the final black for 11-10. None of those opportunities were taken, and Neil Robertson, with a primal scream at the end of that 21st frame, edges back in front at 11-10. And of course we've got the quarterfinals getting underway tomorrow here on Eurosport 1, and we start off with the Rocket against the Dragon. Ronnie O'Sullivan against Ding Junhui, their first session of 3 for a place in the semi-finals. But there's a whole lot more snooker to come this evening. What a match this is turning out to be. The first 2 frames tonight were heavy weather, to put it mildly, but dramatic nonetheless. Neil Robertson, I think, may have got lost.
Wouldn't surprise me, but he was massively pumped up there, wasn't he? It just shows you what it means to him. You know, he took the month off before the World Championship, didn't go to China, decided to stay at home with family and just ease his way in to the World Championship practice, and you can see what it means to him. He's pumped up, he wants his second world title. But Marco, you've got to start putting those away if you're going to have any chance of winning the title. He knows that, don't have to tell him, but what a dramatic match this is now.
And the feeling persists that Fu is actually playing the better snooker right now, but you've got to finish the frames off, and that was a gilt-edged chance. 3 of them to do exactly that. He's going to have to call on all of his reserves of patience and nerve and temperament right now to forget about what just happened there and concentrate on what he's still got to do, Mike.
But he could have landed a big blow there, Phil, couldn't he? Because he had the 78, they had the 115. That could have been 3 on the bounce and landed a massive blow against the Aussie. But you can see how much Neil Robertson is pumped up.
On we go then. Frame number 22 of a possible 25. And this is the moment that Neil Robertson celebrated, moving back in front when it looked as though he'd fall behind.
He's been unlucky there. Having said that, I think he might have landed on the pink. He's definitely got himself pumped up now. You don't often see a reaction off him like it was in the last frame, but he wasn't having a go at Marco there. That was purely having a go at it himself. He's not happy with the way he's been playing. It's been bits and pieces this evening. He knows he can play better than this. He wants to turn it on and get himself into another gear. He has this pink to the middle. He's in first here. Missed it.
He's going to have nightmares about that right centre pocket and the pink ball if he goes on to lose tonight. That's the 3rd he's missed.
Well, I think he wants that pocket to be moved an inch this way, I think. And that will annoy Neil a little bit, because he got a terrific red, got away with it as regards the positional side, then missed the pink and offered up this chance back to Marco. Well, 1 or 2 of you might be saying, oh, it could be a late night. Who cares?
6.
We've just seen the most dramatic frame of this year's World Championship. And we could yet be in for the most dramatic finish.
7.
Crowd living every shot right now.
40.
No one's going early, that's for sure.
$15.
Key shot coming up here if he plays the cannon. Oh, hang on. He was playing on the back red, just clipped the one on the way through. Now he's out of position.
20.
Thought that might happen from that angle, actually. Just had too much angle on the blue. I thought he might have nudged into them there. Gone a little bit aggressive. No, I can only play the safety.
Marco Fu, 20.
Well, Marco is not out of this match, not by a long way, but he must put this frame on the board. 12-10 behind to this man who wants it badly. He wants to have a crack at the defending champion in the quarterfinals, but didn't play that very well, but he's got away with it.
They both want it badly. Make no mistake about that.
that's made all the difference. Not only has he covered the one on the right-hand side, he's angled Neil on the left-hand one. Ball in hand, it's probably a guaranteed pot. Oh, what a stroke of luck that is. Yep, I think he's got the angle on that one. Well, this is trouble. I just wonder whether Neil might just swerve around the cushion and play on this red down the left-hand side here. Try and just touch it and get it or find some sort of safety from it. No, what's he thinking? He's going a different way. Well, that's a great shot to find the gap. Just depends if he's got the cover, which he hasn't. Well, it was a good effort from there. He was in a lot of trouble. But a chance for Marco here to get in. Compelling stuff, Phil, now. I don't know why he played it that way. Why didn't he just play it plain ball and back up the table? He could easily hit something playing the stun shot. He had the angle just to get on the blue plain ball. Now, is he playing this blue to the middle? Well played. That's unlucky. Just caught the pink on the way down. If it doesn't catch that, it's probably okay, but he still has this red.
6.
I think over the corner, and also has the one on the black spot. No, don't think you can see the one actually over the corner. The pressure is on. Well played.
7.
Bang in the middle. Thought long and hard, but stroked it in. Okay, he's the wrong side of the blue, but it doesn't matter because he has the red over the corner. Well, the red just left of the other three will go. Back for the blue again.
Foul.
Ooh, he's fouled the pink on the way down.
Neil Robertson 6.
He was going to be close. Our referee Jan Verhaas was right on the case there.
What next in this nerve-shredding final session of the second round?
Well, you asked, Phil.
Just touched the pink with his waistcoat. I swear that pink's been cursed this evening.
And that was the correct call as well. We definitely caught it with the waistcoat there. And Jan Verhaas, one of our top referees, has been for many years, was right on the case there, and he's quite correct as well.
There he is, the godfather of referees. Pure theatre at the Crucible.
Thank you. One.
Well, what next, you ask, Phil? I don't think I can tell you, because I've got a clue. Would help if you can get a black onto its spot. Might play on it here.
6.
Nope, back for the blue. Fair enough. Make it as simple as possible, especially when the pressure on.
7.
Still looks cucumber cool, but I wonder what's going on beneath that calm exterior. Still must be wondering how on earth he lost the previous frame. Would have feared the worst when he fouled the pink just now. But if he can forget all that, if he can finish the job here,
12.
tie the score yet again.
He's not interested in the black as well. Can't blame him for that.
13.
Blues would be enough, of course. Still got a 37-point lead at the moment.
$18. 19.
There's the equation. A red,
24.
a highish value colour, and it should be level pegging once again.
It's the blue. Don't go in off, don't go in off. Ooh.
25.
It's one of those situations, one of those matches, Phil, that we know that anything can happen. And probably will.
It already has. But that should make it 11 frames each.
Well, he could play on the black this time. Drop it in for the red. Frame safe.
Yeah, don't touch the red again, Marco, whatever you do.
31.
Well, you have to admire this guy's resilience. Lost the first 2 frames of the night in frustrating circumstances, both Ben-Hur style epics, then hit a rich vein of form from nowhere, 2 big breaks to level. Somehow contrived not to win the previous frame. And lesser players might have crumbled. That red is academic. We're level again, folks, and this best of 25 frame thriller is now a best of 3. Neil Robertson 11, Marco Fu 11. He leads Neil Robertson 12-11. And Marco Fu within a frame of knocking out Neil Robertson, the 2010 champion. But who would dare to predict what might happen next?
I'm saying nothing.
Attacking safety.
Well, he's had a couple of looks at this red on the left-hand side here near the pocket, and I'm not sure that he can get to the potting angle and manoeuvre the cue ball through the gap. If he tries to kick it in with the side, he'll probably collide into reds. It's risky if he takes it on. If you can get the half stun shot, fair enough. No, he's not playing that one. He's playing the one in the middle of the table. Oh, dear me. What an effort that was for.
Would have been a very strong candidate for pot of the tournament had it gone in, but the primary goal to get the cue ball safe again, largely achieved. How close was that?
Well, okay, he's got the snooker on that one, but he's left this one down this near the right corner pocket.
That'll do, thank you. One. Brown ball.
Yes, he could get through to the brown. Oh, hang on, though. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. Oof.
5.
And not a bead of
Quietly,
sweat.
please, thank you.
Well, you couldn't script a match like this.
Nope. Well, if you did, you'd be a multi-millionaire.
Talk about stranger than fiction.
Twilight Zone. Once more.
Six.
It's not bad. He can pot the brown. He's still at the table. Well, he can rest on the brown here, but I don't know. Will he take it on? He can possibly get on the red down this end of the table. If he gets in, a chance to win the match.
Marker Fu, 6.
Probably twice across here into the side of the pack. Looks good. It looks good. Oh, is he short of pace?
Foul. And a miss.
Well, that's going to go back.
Marker Fu, 4.
It was the perfect angle. course, at this stage, the tension is racked up. Sometimes the Q arm doesn't go through as fluid as it does earlier in the match.
Yeah, Marco, thank you.
Great match, this. Really is. Started slowly this evening. As you mentioned, Phil, it was a bit of a slow burner, wasn't it? The first couple of frames.
It's well and truly alight now. And that was a good hit from Robertson.
Marco can taste victory here. He can taste that quarter-final against the defending champion.
Thank you.
Of course, Neil Robertson had an epic battle of his own against Mark Selby 3 years ago in the semi-finals, one of the all-time greats, losing 17-15. How he would love another crack at the world #1, but he's got a lot to do to make it happen.
Very capable. Looking to put the white down the table, but that could be risky with the red and there the green. If he goes too far, I suggest play the one near the black, put the white to the top cushion. Just wait. Well, I think at this stage that was the correct shot. That's clever. Covered one with the brown, covered the other one with the yellow. Oh, I say that. As he covered that with the brown, it might pass the green. Neil having a look. Oh, this would be risky, though. He's got this one to the left corner. Well, that goes.
What a shot it would be to take on, though, at this stage of the game, where his next error could be his last shot of the match and the tournament.
That was very clever from Marco there. He's just tempting Neil here. He's saying, go on, take it on. And of course, if he does, the white's coming down this end of the table. Well, he's thrown the bait out. Will he take it? I wouldn't have thought so. This guy's got too much experience. I think he's playing the safety here. I don't think he's playing the pot. It's not bad, considering where he was. Well, Marco can play the red that's nearest the green and put the white in bulk. Well, at least that sorted that out when you're trying to put the white back into the ball carrier. Well, this is just going to come down to the odd shot here and there. Will the man from Hong Kong prevail here into the quarters, or will it be the gritty, determined Aussie? White to the top cushion, I think. Fascinating now, Phil.
Who's going to get in first in this penultimate frame?
That was deliberate. Didn't play the pot there. Trying to get the white to the top cushion. Again, good thought, good execution. That's pretty good as well. He's applied the pressure. Well played.
From 10-8 down this evening, Marco Fu has played some exceptional snooker. He's shown real resilience, determination, courage.
Coolness.
He deserves his lead. But of course, that's all it is. It's not the victory yet.
Well, he might get the chance for the victory if Neil doesn't play this one correct. That was an excellent safety from Marco. And there's Hawkeye's view. Not very inviting. Now again, what is he thinking? Went for the pot, I think. Well, I'll give him the benefit there. The way he's played that, I think he's played that safety through the gap. And that's okay. Marco here, just clip off this red, back down to where it was before with the cue ball. Well, that's a bit tight. There's no way you'll take that on. Might just play off that one, actually. Must be playing the safety here. I doubt if he play the pot. And that's pretty good, because he's just about blocked off the left-hand side of the table. He's trying to force an error. out of Neil here. Doesn't want that in. Does not want the cue ball in. Oh, what a difference that has made. Ball in hand, red down the table. There's still a couple of reds on here for Marco, but if that had gone in, it might have been all over. A decision to be made here. Does he go for one, or does he play safe? Well, I'm sure he's tempted with one of these reds to the left middle, but I mean, the worst case scenario is that we've gone into a decider, but he doesn't want that. Could play the cue ball to the top cushion. And again, under the circumstances, that's the right shot, and he's played it very well.
He's turning the screw. He's asking a lot of questions of his opponent right now. Well, we said the first couple of frames this evening were pretty heavy weather. I can tell you the snow's arrived in Sheffield. And it's pretty hot inside.
Yeah, but these two are pretty ice cool at the moment.
No margin for error now for the former world champion. One full step and he could be heading home. That's gone wrong. So a chance for Marco Fu.
One.
Neil Robertson Can only sit and hope now. But the pressure out there is indescribable. Every shot is a challenge from here on in.
Six.
You can hear a pin drop inside the crucible right now. Yeah, thick with tension.
Twelve. $16.
Not ideal.
Well, he's just got into the cue ball too much there. I think he'll still take this on. There's a chance to stay at the table. Yeah, well played. What about the cue ball?
17.
That's lovely, well done.
Great recovery pot from Marco Fu. Talk about nerves of steel.
Didn't start very well this evening, Phil, did he? But I'll tell you what, certainly picked up in the last hour and a half or so. He's in. A chance for victory. A chance for a spot in the quarterfinals against the defending champion. Now, he don't want to be straight on this red to the middle because we know he goes to the corner, but he can hold for the pink to the centre. And I think
21.
the spot is held, so this will go onto the black spot, which will make it much easier. What a chance this is.
This pink has stubbornly refused to drop into right centre for most of the evening, but surely this time it's going to disappear.
Stop it. Just got to stay in the moment here for the next 4 or 5 minutes.
27.
And he's into the last 8. We've had a great championship
28.
already, Phil, but what a day to look forward to tomorrow.
And we're barely halfway through.
$34.
It's a lonely place when you're powerless to affect the outcome.
$35.
Well, we've talked about Neil's preparation. Should he have gone to China? He didn't do. You know, who are we to argue with that? He thought he'd take a month off. Not a month off, but prepare properly. But looks like he's going to be bitterly disappointed, especially now after that cannon. Just look at this. You could see earlier in the match when he won that frame on the black, he was punching the table, he was
42.
pumped up. But this man here is coolness personified. What a match.
And what must he be feeling right now? so close. He can touch a place in the quarterfinals. Just a few more balls to go. Heart rate off the scale. Robertson looking dejected and fearing the worst.
Yeah, so Marco won't start out that quarterfinal till tomorrow afternoon, so he can have a nice little bit of a lie-in the morning.
Well, he's not there yet, but he's ever so close.
Oh, he's got a kick. He's got a massive kick. Would you believe that? Well, when we just thought it was all over, well, I'll tell you what, I was just hoping that that wasn't going to happen and possibly spoil this match. It could do.
Well, you couldn't make this up. You really couldn't. What a reprieve for Neil Robertson.
And he's got the chance here, Phil, as well, to just nudge that red away from the black and really open things up. Oh, how do you feel? Dear me, if he was to lose this frame from here. But let's not forget the pressure is still on. But he'd be looking to nudge the red away from the black here.
It could be Neil Robertson's last chance. And immediately, it's gone awry.
Caught the red too full. He wanted a quarter ball contact there. The black is still on. It's okay. But could have been easier than this. Just too full. Well, this has to go in, of course. I fancy him to get this. Well, this would be some clearance.
8. 9.
And if you were to do it, Marco Fu would be absolutely sick. It was 3 balls away from the quarterfinal there.
And would somehow have to summon the blood for one last push in the decider.
That is tough.
$16. 17.
This still has to be done. I'll tell you what, though, Phil, I mean, what can you say about these lines when they produce stuff like this under this pressure?
23.
I mean, the rewards are great, but I tell you what, they deserve it. This is what it's all about. Down for the blue.
24.
You just got the feeling that that was the only way that Marco couldn't win there.
It was a cruel, cruel setback.
29.
But Neil Robertson still has to make it count.
30.
7 more colours to be potted here to take us into a decider. Now, this could go wrong. As regards to the positional side, that's where he wants to be on the yellow. I think at the yellow will pass the brown to the corner, obviously to the middle or bottom corner down here. So this is just about pace. Hang on, hang on. Ooh, now then.
35.
I don't think I can take much more of this. Absolutely incredible match. And Marco Fu looks as though he's about to go for a stroll down to the shops for his groceries. Goodness knows what he must be thinking. But has he won a reprieve here?
Well, I think Robbo was thinking about the pot into the corner. No. He's trying to lay the snooker, I think, behind the blue.
Neil Robertson, 35.
Well, a good 35 from Neil there, and the pressure was still on, but Marco only needs the yellow and the green. But he has to be careful. No, he didn't get the snooker, Neil. But Marco has. Well, cushion first, I think. Just kick the yellow up the table. Hold the white there for another snooker.
The remaining colours looking pretty inviting on their spots. It's all about this yellow.
And the white's come away from the black. Oh, he's caught the blue. Marco needs the yellow and the green here. I think the only problem he's got that when potting this blue, he'll be running into the blue. Now, can he power this in and stun past the blue here for the green into the same pocket? I think he's just about got the angle. If he tries to run through, he might collide into the blue.
He might get a kick.
Oh, no, stop it. He's got to have a go at this. Well, that was... Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on.
Oh, no! This is ludicrous.
Well, I don't think I can stand any more of this, Phil. Look at that.
And he snookered Robertson after all of that.
Well, he'll play the swerve here. He only has to nudge the yellow and he's on the green. Oh. Only problem is, don't swerve into the blue here, Neil. Don't get it too early. It only needs a nudge. Oh, he's lost it with the side.
2.
What can you say about this final session?
Unbelievable.
Look for all the world as though Marco Fu was going to see that yellow disappear with a fluke. Somehow it stayed out. That sounded like a heavy contact to me.
Yeah, I think he's still got there, though. Look at this.
Robertson,
Oh, well played. It definitely was a kick, Phil. You're right. It sounded heavy.
And so the pendulum swings yet again. You just wonder if we're destined to go the full 25.
foul, and a miss. Neil Robertson, 5. Yeah. Hawkeye, please. To me? Yeah.
That looks
Okay,
pretty
Marco.
good.
You? Thank you.
In fact, it looks spot on. Take two. He's hit it. Has he got lucky? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. What a chance this is now for the man from Melbourne to take us all the way. $15 behind. 5 colours left. Tension indescribable.
And we might just get another reaction off Neil here if he wins his frame and levels up into a decider. But I mean, how would Marco come back from this, Phil, when he had the kick on the red earlier on as well? How can he come back from this? But Neil's not there yet. Fancy him though.
7.
He needs all 3.
$12.
Anything but straight here to get closer to the black. This looks fairly straight. Can he get past the middle pocket? That's the problem. He can't. Well, he can't. He's going to have to leave this black from distance.
Settle down, please. Thank you.
He can leave the cue ball just about where it is now, probably 2 or 3 inches to the left, but he can't get close to the black. He's going too close to the middle pocket. We've had one unbelievable blackboard game here this evening. Could this be another one? He has no choice but to leave this from distance.
18.
Wow. Here we go then. Is this 12 all, or could it be 13-11?
Under normal circumstances, you back Robertson to pot this 19 times out of 20, but these circumstances are anything but normal. This for a decider.
Robertson.
And how about this one for victory?
Oh, well, he's got to play this. I mean, look at this, the replay, so close. But Marco has to play the pot here. Has to. He might not get another chance. He could rattle this, and we could still be into a decider. But
what a time to have to use the extension on rest and cue. Makes it so much harder, and it wasn't easy in the first place.
Thank you. Quietly, please, now. Thank you.
Got to go for this. He might not get another chance.
For a place in the quarterfinals for Marco Fu. One of the most incredible sessions of snooker we have ever witnessed in this wonderful tournament's 40-year history. You couldn't make it up. And Marco Fu, somehow, some way, has got over the line. Congratulated by Neil Robertson. It's the man from Hong Kong who'll have a shot at Selby for a place in the semi-finals. In the words of the late Jack Carnan, fantabulous. Neil Robertson beaten.